Okay, streaming is working. OBS did yet another strange thing to add to the long list of weird OBS behaviors. It, yeah, it didn't pop up the, like, restream. There's, like, a little restream window thing for some reason whenever you stream on Restream that lets you set the title on all your streams, which doesn't work for Kick. So now I guess my YouTube live stream is going to have the same number in it because of numbering them. Yeah, we're getting two versions of game server / client development 7. Good. Great. No problem there. All good. Okay, don't get distracted. Let's pop open the YouTube chat. It's gonna be one of those nights where I get frustrated with everything, I think. I had to restart my PC because something was inexplicably using 80% of my memory without showing up on Task Manager. So, you know, just something decided to have a memory leak because people don't know how to program or test, and they're billion-dollar companies. But whatever, it's fine. Software's not in decline. Software has never been better, people. Just always use the latest frameworks. Everybody should be using React. That's what a true front-end programmer does. Anything else, to recommend anything else would be irresponsible. That's my favorite thing that I saw on Twitter. There's literally some, I assume, tech influencer. I didn't like know them intimately or like research them, but I just saw them and they're like, yeah, here's an example of a junior programmer who was working for a company and it was like I guess like a niche new front-end library, and they got fired after 2 years because like the company went under, and now he's like having a hard time finding a new job, and he's like, aha, this is why everybody should just use React. Well, I guess he was trying to say junior programmers should just use React. Like, if you're going to recommend, hey, junior front-end developer, here's how you get a job, it's to go learn React. I mean, I could kind of be okay with that, but the kicker was to recommend anything else is irresponsible. And that just pisses me off, because, like, it just seems so likely to me at this point that at any moment the software industry is gonna like wake up and realize, oh yeah, this like little internal thing that like hardly anybody uses, we don't need React for that. In fact, even the big things, you don't need React for that either. Like, I don't understand what problem React is solving that you can't just solve with vanilla JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't think I'll ever get it. I don't think I'll ever understand it. I don't think I'll ever understand it. Maybe it's this, like, being able to componentize HTML, but then I would just use JavaScript to generate the HTML. Why can't you do that? I don't know. I don't know, man. I kind of Like, maybe I get it a little bit if you literally can't use JavaScript in your website. Like, if you need to somehow have your server be able to compile a web page on the fly, and you want to have like this really custom language to like mess around with it and stuff, and you can't use JavaScript at all, then maybe I would understand a little bit. But like, who who can't use JavaScript in a browser? I don't I don't understand. I don't understand the state of front end web development, I guess. Maybe I shouldn't be commenting on it at all, but like objectively, the front end frameworks change all the time. I don't want to be responsible for like saying, "Oh yeah, dude, trust me, nobody's ever going to stop using React. We're going to use React forever till the end of time." And like what there's another thing. I guess this goes back to my slight obsession with the education system and why I think it sucks and how it could be better. It's too You shouldn't be prescriptive about people's careers ever. You should just be like, "Hey, here's data about what employers say they want." That's it. And then let the individual decide if they want to, target as many employers as possible. If that's it, because that's the weird thing is like, it's such a non-trivial problem, and it varies so much from person to person. How to have a career, quote unquote, like whatever a career is. It's just so reductive to be like, hey, you're a front end developer, whatever the frick that means. It varies day to day. Okay, next year is going to mean something totally different. But sure, because you're a front end developer, that means you need to do React, and that's your career for like 4 years. And then at that point, you're like not a junior developer, and then you can start using like the weird systems that nobody's heard of before, I guess. Why is that? It can be so much more nuanced than that. Like, fundamentally, the problem that any junior developer is trying to solve is, hey, can you pay me to do programming? And all you need is one company to do that for you, and you're employed. I don't. What if we taught people actual programming so that they could learn whatever framework they need. I don't know. It's just too prescriptive, and it's the total wrong angle to be taking. The angle should be it just seems so close-minded, and it's just like, yeah, obviously everyone who's a programmer wants to work on, like, wants that's their strategy for life and their career, is just be hireable at as many companies as possible. That's their outlook. I think it ultimately, in my opinion, all this shitty dialogue we have stems from a lack of information. There's no transparency from the employers about what they're looking for. Job descriptions never meant anything. Nobody knows how to hire software developers or interview software developers. People don't know people don't even know what software developers do that adds value. We can't even quantify work for a software developer. It's just, nobody knows anything about it. Like, obviously, somehow work still gets done. Well, maybe not obviously. Maybe I should... Actually, I should probably question that assumption too, right? Like, I should be like, wait a minute. That's sort of what Jonathan Blow was talking about in one of his talks, right? It's like, hey, Facebook employs thousands of software developers, and there's no apparent change to their front end. Is work actually being done? Is work actually being done? Is work actually being done? Well, obviously in this stream, no, I've spent the first 10 minutes of it just rambling and ranting about how much I hate the freaking software industry. Maybe I should try to do something to improve it by, like, writing a good program. Wouldn't that be amazing? Ah, crap. What have we been doing? Where were we at? Okay, so I did this crazy ass shit where I'm, like, making my functions more robust to seg faults. Let's try running the server again real quick. Okay, so if you don't remember, we come over here, we click autoplay, and then what it proceeds to do is it sends 600 key events to our server just all at once. Then our server like freaks out for a second, but eventually it processes all the information. It's not that much. It's 12,000 bytes, and it does take a crap load of time though still, which I do worry about. And then we're just good. And then it's just like we're all good. Oh, yes. And then this could be very exciting. What happens next is our client can now retrieve said information that we've just effectively uploaded. We've sent it to the server, and the server, I still haven't programmed this part yet either, but the server is going to give us an API that will let us retrieve said information when we ask for it. So the first thing I should do for that is setting up the button that will sort of let me do spectating. Because I believe we already made that server API that I described. Yeah, actually we already made it, and we need to test it by actually setting up a spectator here. So the spectator, yeah, it's gonna be a lot more work than this. This is not yet spectate. We're probably going to need a whole separate display manager, and if I set that up, it'll make it much easier for myself. Yeah, let me just go over here and mess with the... Never clicked that button before. Oh yeah, spectate... Okay, I'm brilliant. It's already there. God, what a genius. Okay, so on click, we make a socket, we configure the socket, we statically define the song information, so I'm messing with the volume knob on my microphone. I feel like I'm talking too loud. I might be. We load the online playlist, which will allow us to specify a specific song ID that we can load, so that we can load the stuff all in the audio file, and then we initialize the playing display. This is wrong. This part must be wrong because we need to do much more complicated things than this. We need a way to I mean, one thing the spectator could do, obviously, is just, like, get all the data in one request, but that's kind of crap. I think a new playing display is going to be the right way to approach this problem, but let me just sort of like visualize what we have to do that's different. If I pop open playing display, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. Your player key event. Okay, so in theory, I can leave this mostly unmodified and just populate this. Right? Because presumably what I do somewhere is I hook up my own custom function to something that passes it somewhere. Basically, so whenever the player presses a key, it gets sent to this array. Is that in this file? It is. Yeah, it's right here. Bind key bindings to action. Yeah, so basically on startup, I say on key event, push a player key event to the key binding events to process array. So we no longer need this as a spectator. Well, it should basically work the same. Does this have a draw loop? It does. Yeah, no, it does. I remember it does. Yeah. Yeah, so in this draw loop, we're going to make a whole new file for this, obviously, that largely just copies this. But in this draw loop, oh, interesting. I didn't realize I did this. Huh, okay. I remember I had a conversation with myself about the miss manager as well. The miss manager is going to have to be refactored a bit. Did I write that down somewhere? That was a useful conversation I had with myself. Dang it, I did not. Okay, well, I'll have to do something about the miss manager at some point. Yeah, because specifically in spectator mode, we don't want there to be a miss if we haven't actually gotten the... Why do I say gotten so weird? Sometimes. If we haven't actually gotten the information for it yet, right? Because the client that we're watching might just have a really slow connection, just have really bad latency, and intermittently, I guess. Because if it's like permanently bad latency, well, that's like a long-term, that's like a systemic issue we need to fix first before we even start spectating. So yeah, we're going to need a separate miss manager and a whole separate playing display to just like make that slight tweak. Yeah. How many playing displays are we gonna end up with? Yikes. Whoa. Okie dokie. Here we fucking go. Okay, so are there going to be any key events? Probably, basically, no. At least not in the first draft of this feature. Like, maybe at some point it would be nice to give the spectator some kind of controls, but at the moment we'll just say no. At the moment we'll say no. Quit key. That's a fair. Okay, I changed my mind almost immediately. We get rid of all of this, though, I believe. We let there be a quit key, though. Okay. Oh, there's so many edge cases. It's gonna be so hard to reuse my like the results screen and stuff. Oh, yikes. Yikes, 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 dude. It's gonna be hard to reuse it because I didn't plan for this feature existing when I first assigned all that stuff. So kind of hard to predict the future. What are you gonna do? Okay. So I think this is fine. Those are fine. This is gonna be different. Oh, I might not have to use a whole separate mismanager? Oh no, I probably will. No, I probably will. What? Oh, clear interval. Okay, yeah. So this is going to change a little bit. Okay, so I would like to be able to configure some polling rate, for lack of a better term, some rate at which the spectator will send a request to the server asking for the latest information about the client that we're spectating. So probably what I need is we're gonna need some variables. Private time of last server update. Private. Now, I wished I knew the technical term for this. Is it polling rate? Is that... I'll just do a quick Google. Polling rate mean. The polling rate measures how often a device, typically a gaming mouse or keyboard, reports its position back to the computer it's paired up with. Ah. So that's not necessarily the correct term. Let's see. Server check rate. And we hard code this to 500. Okay. Current time in seconds. So that's asking for the game time. We don't really care about the game time for this, I don't think. We might. Huh. There's probably a good reason to communicate with the server in terms of game time at some point in the future. Yeah, so we'll just use game time for it for now. Yeah. I will certainly have some problem related to that soon, I think. Current time in seconds. This is game time. Shouldn't it be more obvious that this is... Whatever. Ooh, don't mess with the copy and pasted code yet. Oh, I can basically just move this out here, and I can be like another if over here. Wait, that's not right. What am I doing? Basically, that's what I'm trying to think here. Yeah. And if I do this, rather than setting the last server update time in seconds to current time in seconds, then what would happen? What's the difference here, meaningfully, actually? I just want the update rate to be, like, stable and not to do any kind of weird drifting thing, you know? That's the main bit. Oh, right. This wouldn't work if it's undefined. Well, this is wrong. I can't figure out how to write this if statement. But what do we have to do here? We have to send a request to the server. This guy needs a WebSocket. That much is certain. I'm lost in my code. Help! Here it is. Okay, so I need to do something with it. I guess I kind of copy this a little bit. We do this, and we're probably going to set some ints or whatever. True. What am I saying to true? Little endian? Yeah, that's important. Okay. How many, what's the size of the thing we're doing here? How many ints do we need? We need, the first int is to indicate that we're a spectator. The second int is to indicate what client we're interested in. And the third int is to indicate the note index that we have seen so far from the client. Basically, to sort of specify the starting point of when we want to get the data. And each int32 is 4 bytes, so 4 times 3 is 12. So we're going to do this a few times. We're going to set, we're going to do 0, 4, 8. And we're going to do 1, 0. And also probably 0 here, too, maybe. I don't know. This would cause the server to just send all 600 key events over to us, which is maybe not what we want, but we'll see. Oh my god, and then there's this like gross asynchronous nature to it, which we're gonna have to work out. Okay, this .socket.send array buffer. Yeah, obviously. Oh, we need a function to set. We need a message listener. Okay. How do you remove event listener? Oh, gross, icky. Yeah, in this case we probably do like dot on message. Unless, does this return something? No, it returns void. How do you un-event listen? I think I've Googled this before. JavaScript, how to unset an event listener. You have to add the function to it. Right. Right. You can't use anonymous functions if you want to be able to remove them later. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, that's so freaking funny. Yeah, you have to pass a function reference into it if you want to be able to remove it later. God, that's hilarious. Oh my goodness. It kind of like it's just a compromise I guess they had to make with the API. I don't know. It's not great. The other thing to do would be, I guess, it returns a number that you can use to track with it. I mean, they do that for intervals, so they could do it here too, I suppose. But they want to be fancy. They want to be fancy. It's easier to use, I guess, but I don't know. Anyways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make a function. I'm going to pretend that this is the function that does stuff. That this is already hooked up. So private on server message event. Is that what type that is? It's a message event. Is that what it is? Is that what it's telling me? That's what it's telling me. Okay. What would I put in here? Could I not put like array buffer? Could I put I don't know, HTML canvas element? You could put literally anything in there. Okay. Okay. Event.data is an any, but I'm treating it like an array buffer, I think. I'm treating it like an array buffer because I said that the socket binary type is array buffer. Yes, I think that's fine. Now, tell me, is event.data typed? It is, I think. It's an array buffer. Yes. Interesting. Interesting. So I could go over... I'm not going to go type that. So what do we do? It's not an int32 array anymore. It's really not. I don't need to do that. I need a data view. I need to wrap my array buffer in a data view so that I can access its individual elements. I don't know how many things I've received. I mean, I do. It's 600, but I need to assume that I don't know how many I've received. So I guess one way to solve that problem would be to use like the first 4 bytes or whatever of the payload to be like, hey, you've got this many key events, whatevers. But do I instead know, do I know how many bytes I have? Do I know, like, the payload size? Is this it? This is probably it, right? Read only, the length of the array buffer and bytes. Yeah. And I forget exactly. I think a player key event is, oh, we can shut you down. 10 bytes when it's packed in. Yes. Yes. And the buffer is offset by 2 because of the header. Yes. This is not a valid assumption. That's not a valid assumption anymore for this. Oh well, we'll have to deal with that. Some other time. Oh. OBS, thank you. Okay, so we take U. I could put an L there, couldn't I? No, I can't. You can do that in C. Different language. Okay. So, let's do for let. And we're going to construct a player key event. So we say like let you don't have a null constructor, you're an all arguments constructor. That's fine, I think. Data view dot get. I forget. Help. Yeah, track key state. Okay. Float 64 uint 8 uint 8. Oh, that's not how you. Gonna have to provide a little bit more there. Eight, I think. And then we get 9 here. And then we get 0 here. Except that's a lie, and we need to do plus 10 times I. Yes. Yeah. And then we stuff the player key event somewhere. I'm a little confused now. So I just realized something. I realized I don't understand something. How does... Okay, when we're binding a key event to an action, we add the new key event. Huh. Well, that's basically what you'd expect, right? This is how the key event gets its timestamp. But then, how does... I guess I have an assumption that this would never be in the future. Why would I expect that? And this is called, yeah. At the start of the draw loop, we go to our array and we pick out all the new key events that were added, and we assume that we need to process them now. Yes. That is an assumption, isn't it? So what I could do fairly easily is pass in current time in seconds to get new key events and compare that to the time in seconds of everything in that array, which would be quite slow if the array were full of junk, right? We would be slowing it down depending on the buffer size. We may be able to assume that the buffer is sorted. We might be able to assume that. I probably assume that already here. Well, I don't even need to make that assumption because we just sort of pick everything out. It's probably, let me think. When the client's playing, generally, we expect them to, yeah, we expect the client to send us the key events in order. Wow, that assumption could be really hard to enforce. Jesus. I could, we'll have to see, right? That's one thing I guess I'll have to, like, bake into the server is, like, do some kind of check, even if it's slow, that's like, hey, you didn't think this could happen, but by the way, it could happen. Because I assume, you know, we're probably going to be spacing the frames that we're sending pretty far apart temporally, generally, so it might not actually happen, like maybe not ever, but it's possible that like two packets get sent out or two frames get sent out and they're like racing with each other and one arrives before the other, and so it ends up out of order, and then it would be stored in the server out of order, right? And that would be a problem, but that would be a problem only so that I can do a binary search when I'm doing get new key events. That's a very minor issue, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a pretty minor issue. the removal of items in the array is going to be a little bit more complicated, but yeah. Okay. So yeah, here's what we do. We say, we add this here. Yep. There's the current game time in seconds. Ooh, look at this. We're not reusing this array. Ew, ugly, gross. We're allocating a new array every frame. Every frame we're allocating a new array. Yikes, dude. Yikes. I think it means more if you don't put the exclamation point. But yeah, we want to do that so that down here we can just I don't know if anyone like followed that train of thought. Holy shit, what a leap of logic. So that we could just do this dot player key events process dot push. So we can just do dot push here. We can just do it the simple way. Yeah. Okay, on server message we do that. And then we get the new key events by passing in the current game time, and we iterate over this. So this loop needs to change. I guess a for loop is perfectly all right. Worst thing that could happen is that we have to wait till the next frame. So we want to do this, but we want to wrap it in an if statement. And we don't want to do shift, we do something different. What's the if? Key events in process dot I dot game time, and we want to ask the question: did this event happen in the past? If it happened in the past, then it should be less than current game time, because time goes up. If it was the other way around, well, we could say less than or equal to. If it's an event that happened in the future, it would have a greater game time. Yes, and if it had a greater game time, that would mean it was in the future and that we wouldn't want to process it yet, because although the animations take time into account, we don't want to process future stuff. That doesn't, because then we'd have to we'd be buffering everything in the game. We'd have to buffer every animation, everything that consumes events. No, this should be just the central source of where we're controlling the buffering, and we let everything else basically react immediately to what's going on. That seems like a pretty good architectural decision. Yeah. We'll see how wrong that is in the future. God, I hope I don't have to buffer everything. That'd be a disaster. So it's clear that we're going to be pushing something, but it's more complicated. This dot key events to process. So splicing is what we're doing, I think. Start at I. The zero base location in the array from which to start removing elements removes elements from an array and, if necessary, inserts new elements in their place, returning the deleted elements. Delete count 1. Returns an array containing the elements that were deleted. Yikes, dude. You hate to see it. We have to do bracket 0 at the end. Right? This returns an array. +1 overload? What's the overload? You won't tell me, will you? How could you? Okay, then the only other thing we need to do is we need to decrement I think. We need to decrement I because everything is sort of shifting over to the left one when we do a deletion like that. Yeah, we need to decrement I. Well, there you go. That's it, I think. And length should... Wait. Not new key events.length. This key events to process.length. That would have been annoying a bug. It would have literally just done nothing. I love bugs like that. And when I say love, I mean hate. They're the worst. Okay. In theory, that's mostly done. What's the next part? Because this should basically just work. Now I need to hook up the socket to this, right? And I need it to actually send the right message. But that's in the draw loop already, right? I put it in the draw loop? Yeah. Oh, okay, so I can... This is wrong. I need to fix this somehow. It's not that wrong, but it's still wrong. Okay, basically, I want to say if it's undefined, do that, and do this. Else, if it's not undefined, and current time in seconds minus this dot last server update time in seconds is greater than server check rate in seconds, then we need to do this. Okay, so I just should put this in a function, basically. That's all there is to it. And this should probably change at some point in the future. We would have like a client ID and a note index. But for now, we'll just do this. Oh, I don't have any way of preventing repeat data. Yeah, so basically what would happen is we keep asking the server, hey, send us everything over and over again. And those keep getting added to the list of key events. That could cause really strange problems. Yeah, I guess I'm making a fundamental assumption that I can get key events from in order from the server. I guess I don't care if the client sends them out of order to the server. I mean, I care because as the server, I'll have to figure out how to solve that problem. But the spectator can just assume that the server handles it all for them. So I think for now I comment this out. I think for now I comment that out and just, do nothing there. Because I don't have a way to handle, to smartly, not ask for more data or not ask for data that we've already received before. I think I'll still have to be able to run it from the spectator's perspective, though. Because a request could get, sort of delayed. There's time in between sending the request and receiving it, so we could end up receiving duplicate data still. We'll just have to include some kind of check for it when we receive it. Yeah, which makes me think I'm gonna have to include something here that's IDing these events. That's IDing the starting note ID. Yeah, to do discard key events we've already received. Yep. I think it'll work. I think it'll roughly work eventually. After a few more weeks of working on this. Okay. So, but this should basically work. I could just overwrite this, right? I could just say I could just set on message to whatever I want. I'd probably go ahead and make this public in that case. Well, what? I could do it. I could configure the socket sort of in here, I think. So spectator is not quite like the playing display, is it? I mean, technically, maybe it'll have a score provider at some point, but that's for after I've got a functioning server. That will be several weeks from now. That will be many weeks. That will be that'll be phase 2, right? Phase 2, I can come through and be like, all right, we've got the server actually running. You can technically play it. Now, what are all the cool things we would like to be able to see while playing a multiplayer game? Things, we'll get to that question eventually. Oh my god, so much work. I want to die. There's so much work to do. Probably don't need any of this junk, right? What do we use song title for? Displaying the results. I'll just leave everything as is, whatever. Let me pass in the socket. Not the cocket, the socket. My misspellings are always so funny like that. Okay, why are you red? Oh, you're right. You're right about that. Good point, TypeScript. Holy cow. Okay, and before we start the game, bind key events. This dot socket dot on message equals this dot on server message. Yeah, basically that. Wow. Okay, this could be pretty freaking cool if it works. Spectate button. Okay, so this isn't quite right? I need to fix this. Init playing display. This is a disaster. So what specifically is the issue here? Global playing display. Right, I'm doing like page manager dot set current page play, which means that it's playing the play manager. I mean, I could set it to frickin' new spectate. Because all it does is call draw. Just do a little bit of polymorphism here. An argument for unique ID was not provided. I'm a little bit confused at why it's so angry with me. Could do something like this. That's not what I meant to hit. Oh no. It's an util, right? could do this. No? I can't really do that. That's what I wanted to do. We do this. We do this. We can't. We don't know what that is yet. No idea what that could possibly be. Will not let me find out. Oh, I didn't. Ah. That's probably why. Okay. Now we just need to pass in the socket. Holy crap. None of these things are defined. This needs to come from util, but you're probably private. You're not exported. We don't know what tracks is. We don't know what tracks is. How? Right. Okay, so we had to like do all this crap here. Okay. We made all the red lines go away. Good job. Good job. Oh my god, the score provider doesn't follow through. We're just gonna pass an undefined. We're just gonna pass an undefined. We're just passing an undefined. We don't need any of this shit. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful when you just delete your code. So glad. Okay, I think that's right. That's pretty cool, actually. And now we try it. Oh, there's many things that could go wrong here, but we must try it anyways. Yeah. This barely working monstrosity. Does it compile? This always compiles. Ah, shit. God dang it. I had to go and say something. Type message vent is not generic. Excuse me? It literally is, though. Huh? What? Okay. Real quick, this doesn't matter at all. I'm curious, though. Error message event is not generic. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna assume that I have a later version of or an earlier version of TypeScript that doesn't have the fix in. I think that's right. Yeah, that's my impression so far by Googling. So we just don't care. It just doesn't matter. As I was saying, I very rarely get compile errors here because I'm so good at TypeScript. I'm bragging, but it's somewhat true. I'm much better at TypeScript than I am at C. So much better. Okay. Ooh, hate this. They're like slightly spaced incorrectly. Okay, so well let me go start my server. Okay. Let me just give the code a quick once over. I forget if I really got this working or I just think I did. I think I did get it working. I think it works. I think it works. And I just send all the shit over there. Yeah. Okay. We'll see if it actually works. So we simulate autoplay. Okay. Does the server freak out? It might. We might get a seg fault. Oh, that seems like it went okay. Okay. Now we try spectate. Okay, there's an error. Oh no, the music. Please stop. Uncaught DOM exception failed to execute. Send on WebSocket still in connecting state. Classic. Ha ha ha. Classic, dude. Classic. Classic, 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 classic. We've solved this issue before, though. We've solved this issue before. See, check. I love this. Like, I have 2 clients thing. Oh, I have 0 clients now. Well, that's actually correct. Okay. Turn my server off so that the hackers can't hack me while I'm distracted. Okay, so we come back over here. And I ask myself, how did I fix this problem before? Something like this. Oh yeah, okay. This is a problem with my conception of things. Okay, wait. Spectate button. Spectate button, why do you have key bindings inside of you? What's going on here? Did I not delete that? What's wrong with me? Okay. So I believe the problem is that we start the playing display before we've actually waited to load the socket. Yeah. So it's cute and fine that we like wait for this to load, right? But the really important thing that takes a while is this part. Yeah, so we need something that says files loaded. Where am I? There I am. I think I did the same thing somewhere. Yes. I don't want to copy right now because I have stuff in my clipboard. Okay. And then we do this. We say like if blah do this. And I need to do this is not asynchronous. Silly me. It's not asynchronous, it just takes a long time to load. Okay, so we basically do this. Kinda. We don't need this whole concept of done sending data though. We want this for sure. We want, well, done sending data. What is this? We need that. So in this case, we don't need this done sending data because at the end of this thing, after we're done executing this, we literally change the current page. Therefore, we're not going to keep running this in a loop. So we don't need that. This .socket is not equal to undefined, and this .socket at ready state is equal to WebSocket at open. Yes, and this .file is loaded. Yes. This formula is going to work, I think. Okay. Here's what will determine whether today was a good stream or a bad stream. Does this approximately work, or am I so far away from it working that I better just give up and try again tomorrow? Let me boot up the server again real quick. Server's booted. hit autoplay. That's what did it just do? What did it just do? Oh, crap. No, I know what it just did. I know what it just did. Oh, I know what it just did. I'm using the same socket twice. Wait, but if that's the case... Hold on, stop the server. If that's the case, why do I... This isn't quite right. Oh, well, oh, okay, this button's wrong. Actually, that probably doesn't matter. Does that matter? I don't think it matters. So, as far as I know, let me think here. I didn't think about how to like the fact that we're composing these functions. Okay, so what we do is, right, at this point we've literally already loaded the files. We've already loaded the files, man. We've already loaded the files. Oh my god. Okay, so actually what this should do is not even... It doesn't need to load anything. It just needs to be like, go. It just needs to be like, go. Go do it. Go do shit. Bring you down here. Oh, I hate that so much. I hate that it does this. Okay, so that's that, and we don't need this anymore. Because the socket's literally already connected. Oh, check this out, though. That's the issue. That's the issue. Okay, that explains that a lot. We don't need to make a new socket. We've already made one here at this point. Right here, yeah. Okay. That was a huge logical error. Okay. Once again, start up my server. Server started up. Send the data. It's not automatically starting the game. That's good. Yes. Did the server get the data? I'm looking. Yes, it got the data. It didn't crash. We come back over here. We click spectate. Does it work? It does not work. Huh. Is this another classic it's not doing anything error? Okay, tell me something. Did you send anything? Did you... Huh. You seem to have received something. That's interesting. Ah. Yes, it seems... Explain that to me. 18 bytes from client 4. We sent it 18 bytes, which means we sent it at least 12. for the actual payload. 3 times 4, I believe. Yeah. And shouldn't it have sent more than that? Shouldn't it have sent a 4-byte masking key and a 2-byte header? Shouldn't it have sent... Oh yeah, no, 6 plus 12. That's exactly what it sent. And yet... Aha! So this is wrong. No, it's kind of right, actually. What? Okay, it's too cold in this room. Hold on a second. Okay, let me put my earbuds back in. What time is it? Okay, we're not out of time just yet, but we're cutting it close. I would like to get to bed at a decent hour and have time to do other things besides programming in my day. That would be cool. Okay, what are we looking at? So it says we have a malformed payload. Well, why is it saying the first int is 1? It's saying the first int is 1. Well, that would probably... Oh. Is the first int actually 1? Is the first... That's the wrong window. Is the first int actually 1? Yes, it is. We try again. We try again. We restart the server. That was another silly error. We sent the data. Give the server a second. Let me just make sure it receives the data correctly. It appears to have done that. And then we click spectate. Uh-oh. Hit escape, I think? Yeah, okay. WebSocket connection to that failed because of invalid frame header. Can you explain that a little bit? This is in button.onClick somehow. Okay, what? Huh. Okay. Oh. Oh. Yes. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Okay. This is just a thing I didn't implement. Right? What is this message? That's a really good error message. I love that error message. God dang. So of course I didn't give my client a proper frame because I didn't even... I guess I still sent something, but it was garbage. Yeah. Okay, so I need to add some kind of if statement in here that handles this. I don't want to do this, but I really also want to get this working because it feels like it's so close. So tantalizingly close to working. Okay. Come here, RFC. Come here, man. Here we go. We're doing some midnight RFC fun. Alright. Base framing protocol. So, masking key if mask set to 1. Okay, so we're not setting mask to 1. Extended payload length if length is equal to 1. What does this mean? In bytes. If 0 to 125, that is the payload length. If 126, the following 2 bytes interpreted as a 16-bit unsigned integer are the payload length. Oh yeah, there's 2 possible extra large sizes. If 127, the following 8 bytes are interpreted as a 64-bit unsigned integer. The most significant bit must be 0, or the payload length. Yes. So 126, I believe, is the number we're looking for. Okay, so we need some if statements here. Oh, actually, we've got a twofold issue here. We don't have a large enough message out buffer size, and the internal logic of handling the payload is wrong, of structuring the frame. Yes, because of this assumption. This is totally fine. This is totally reasonable. This is iffy. This is iffy. So we need something that's like uint64. Payload start equals whatever, I guess. And we put u here. Boop, boop, boop. No, 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 no. Plus payload start plus 2. Plus 2. No, plus 8. Plus payload start plus 9. Plus I times player key event size. I could, okay, probably more sensible is I say char star payload start is equal to buffer plus 2, right? And then I stick this everywhere. We're do the mem copy that way. Yeah, that's probably the sensible way to do that. Okay, so we don't need this. We probably do this, and we conditionally define it different ways. Yeah. We need the condition on the payload length, right? We need to, so, okay. So we need to be like, if payload length is greater than 125, then we just assume that it's and payload length is less than... Okay, let me just double check the RFC again. If 126, the following 2 bytes are interpreted as a 16-bit unsigned integer that are the payload length. So we say to ourselves, what is 2 to the power of 16 minus 1? It's 65535. So as long as the payload length is less than 65535, 65536. That's the max value that a 16-bit unsigned int can store, I believe, is 2 to the 16 minus 1, because 0 is the value. Yes. Yeah, there's no way it'd be an even number. Yeah, okay. So if those two things are true, so we need to be like, if payload length is less than or equal to 125, we do it one way. And we say this is true. Otherwise, we do plus 2 more, and we need to say buffer 1 is equal to 126, and we need to say buffer 2 is equal to payload length. Which may not be completely correct to do. Maybe instead we need to use memcopy, but I'm going to assume that that's right until proven otherwise. And this is just me being lazy. Yes. So let me go look at the RC again real quick. So 7, which is 1 byte. Huh? 7, 5, 6, 7. Oh, right. I can just set that, and this is going to automatically be a 0. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's a pretty reasonable assumption. Yeah, okay, so I can do that. And then here's the extended payload length. And it's just 2 bytes. Yes. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I think I have it right. Okay, and now this, I need to fix the buffer size. So I ask myself, what's the buffer that I'm sending? Here's the message out. Okay. Hey, message out. Why are you such a tiny buffer? Okay. Very good. I don't know that... Do we use this? We do use this. Huh? How is this working currently? I'm loading all this data into here, but this is too small of a buffer to contain my shit. How is this not giving me a seg fault right now? Oh, yeah. No, I'm pretty sure it's not giving me a seg fault right now. Because... because this is inside the while loop, and I currently send just a crap load of really tiny frames, is how it works. Yeah. Holy crap, I can't believe I'm not checking the buffer size there. That's fine. That code was written in a simpler time. Oh, no, I did something wrong. Line 459, I think, allegedly. Oh yeah, you're totally right. My bad. Okay. Okay, server's running. ORFC. Now let's see if we can actually send a message to the spectator. We're sending the data, checking the server to see if it received the data. It did. Very good. Coming back here. Does this run? Dang it. I really thought it was going to work that time. Okay, what happened now? First int is 2. Client ID 0. Last index 0. And then it's just done. Huh? Oh my god, I hate that shit so much when it just doesn't do anything. Okay. I trust and believe that we got here. Yes, we must have, because we print them out right here. As far as I can tell, as far as I can tell, we actually got here. Which means that the problem could be on the client side? Alright, come over here, spectator display. Tell me something. Why aren't you doing this? Well, let's think here. we get in here, and this.socket equals socket, and we say this.socket.onMessage equals this.onServerMessage. Something so strange about this. It doesn't even register that we received a message. Which I'm pretty sure means that we did actually receive it. Well... No, that can't be what that means. I must be like binding the event improperly or something? I don't know. Let's try starting up the server again. Wait for the server to receive the data. Believe it has. Go ahead and try spectating. Asking server for update. We never receive a message from the server. We never do. Server. What do you have to say for yourself? It says it sent the bytes. It says it sent the bytes. Huh. Ha, silly me. Okay. So this is probably something really silly, right? This is some stupid TypeScript thing that's happening right now. Because I believe the server when it says it sent those bytes. I believe the server when it says that. I believe the server when it says that. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment out this line right here. And I'm going to leave this right here. I'm going to comment that out. I think that's fundamentally the problem. It's possible that this is not the problem and it's not going to be a quick fix at all, in which case it's going to be more productive for me to just end the stream. But, God, I really want this to work. I just really want this to work. What can I say? I want to see the spectator mode working. It will be really exciting for me if it does work. Go on now. Send the data, thank you. Okay, it's connected. I don't know if it's like a server tick rate or something. Huh. Okay, wait. Okay. I don't understand, though. I just don't... Huh? What? I do actually send the request, and this is telling me that it sends it out to the client. Oh, okay. So what must be happening is that my frame is malformed. That must be what's happening right now. That's because that's the behavior of a WebSocket. When it gets something it doesn't like, it just ignores it. Just pretends it didn't receive it. I'm pretty sure. It didn't disconnect, which is weird. Which maybe means that it thinks I'm sending like an incomplete frame and it's waiting to get the rest of it. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure this means that I'm just constructing the frame wrong. This frame size calculation is incorrect, I think. Do I have a calculate header size function somewhere? Yeah, but I'd have to send that in, and yeah. Frame size is equal to that, but that's only relevant for this check right here. Int player key event size, yeah, that's right. This has to be wrong, right? This has to be totally wrong. So we have to do something like a mem copy destination is buffer +2. Source is payload length. Probably address of payload length. And we're passing in 2 bytes. Actually, this would make a lot of sense. Well, maybe not that much sense, because in theory this stuff should just like overwrite if this is like writing too much data. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. But it should definitely hit this one right here, right? Print F got here. We love debugging with print statements. Okay. Wait a second. Payload start. Oh, no, that's fine, yeah. Equals buffer +4. And we're mem copying based on that. Yeah, that's fine. And this is an address, which means we can use it in mem copy. Yeah, that's totally kosher as far as I know. That's totally kosher as far as I know. Close event, yeah. just don't quite see that memcopy has to be the issue, right? That's the only issue I was able to identify. Please send me data. Please, server, respond. Senpai. Senpai, please notice me. Senpai refuses to notice me. God dang it. RFC. RFC? Are you lying to me? That can't be it, can it? No. Could it be? No. Maybe? I don't... I guess I could... That would kind of explain its behavior, where the WebSocket's like, oh yeah, they just told me an obscenely large payload length. I guess I'll wait a bit for them to... I don't... Network byte order. Is that it? Could that be it? Network byte order. That could be an issue. That could be an issue. Okay. So we're dealing with 16, right? Host to network short. Converts it. What do you mean converts? For an explanation of the terms used in this section, no, I just need to know how to use it. What does it return? What do you return? Huh? Oh, there's the return type right there. Yeah, okay. So... Yeah? Is that... I mean, I'm... What is this type? It's the size T. I don't know if it's like downcasting. Can a size T... Did it... No, I don't think payload length overflowed, because I can print it. Right? No, I can print it. Yeah. When I print it, it prints fine. Like, it prints the numbers that I expect it to print. This is literally my last idea. Okay. Server received the data. Are we gonna get it tonight. I don't think we are. I don't think it's gonna happen, folks. I don't think it's gonna happen. Okay. This is... I'm almost certain that it is a really simple little bug that I'm just blind to tonight. So I should just give up on it and take a look at it again later with fresh eyes. Take a look at it again later with fresh eyes. Because it's not getting... The client, it's not giving me anything, man. So I need to, like, go back to the drawing board, make the game server send just, like, some fake data that's, like, really small that would totally 100% work. And then we incrementally increase the complexity until we get back to where we want to be. That's just what we're going to have to do. Dang. Oh well. That's how programming is. That's how programming is sometimes. I have faith that we will debug this and figure it out, just like we've debugged everything else and figured it out eventually. All right? Well, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And if I stream tomorrow, I will see you then. If I don't stream tomorrow, undefined behavior. Until then,